We're back with our Game Changer series. Today's episode is about the culture of accountability. Today's guest is Steve Parsons with Bear Valley Solutions and Edge Boss Hockey. Let's hear more. Welcome to Game Changers, where winning isn't just about score. It's about invaluable lessons learned along the way. Join me, Robin Finley, as we delve into the parallels between sports and business. Remember, we never lose. We either win or we learn. We're back for another exciting episode of Game Changers. Last time we were here with Steve Parsons speaking about developing leaders. Today we're going to carry on with that theme a little bit further and talk about developing yourself. Steve, let's get into it. Talk about how you've been developing yourself as a leader. First question out of the gate is, what leadership challenges are you working on right now?
That's a humbling question, Robin. Because
it's meant to be.
Yeah, I can feel it. It really makes you look at yourself, and you have to look at yourself honestly. And I have to be accountable to myself on how am I as a husband, father, partner, co-worker, business partner, associate, etc., etc. And being able to work and act in a predictable way that is, virtuous, integral, ethical, fiscally responsible, friendly, all these things, all these pressures. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You got to be, it's like a golf swing. There's only 1,500 things to remember. And if you get one wrong, it all goes awry. And so for me, trying to be, the best version of myself, it requires a ton of introspection and self-accountability. And I have to be careful not to overindulge there and not exert too much energy and really focus on being present and external. So for my journey right now in leadership, and as I've evolved over the last number of years, and for the next chapter, I need to do a better job of making it look easy, which means a little less is more sometimes, and not have to do everything all the time and be everything to everybody, and get better at saying no. And those are the kinds of things that I'm working on right now to be a better leader. It'll give me more energy to do the right things and do a better job. But at the same time, not letting people down and making commitments that are hard for me to keep.
Yeah, overcommitting is a hard thing, something I struggle with too. You definitely have to spend time looking into yourself, like you said, being accountable, but still remaining present. And yeah, one thing I learned along the way is no is a complete sentence. So I think that sounds like you're working through that, which is great. So what are some of your leadership or coaching development trends that you've seen recently that interest you? Is there anything out there that's sort of tweaking you and keeping you thinking about leadership? Yeah,
there's a friend of mine, guy I grew up with, named Sean Pete. We both played minor hockey together. He went and played NCAA hockey, and he was playing in the East Coast League after that. And the guy that owned the Greensboro Monarchs of the ECHL also owned a couple race cars. And Sean would hang around the track on off days and after practices and stuff. And after a couple of years of that, he ended up staying down there and working in the pit crews of not NASCAR necessarily, but some of the junior sprint series circuits and stuff. And he got on this car, and big, strong guy, and they started as a tire catcher and then moved up to Jackman and worked his way all through the pits and got to NASCAR as a pit guy. Now we're nearly 50 years old, and you can't physically do that at the same, but I mean, you probably could if you've seen this guy. But he's written a book that I've subscribed to about leadership and the culture of kindness and accountability within it. And his theory that I really, really believe in is you don't need to be a bully jerk to be a leader. You can be patient and kind, and you can work with people, and you can hold people accountable. And you start learning about accountability through external pressures. And if you're a quick learner and really a worthy teammate and a worthy partner to join the squad, then you become self-accountable. And if it starts at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock is probably late. You probably should be there 5 minutes ready to go, shoes tied, water bottle, all your stuff ready to go. You don't need to be overzealous with it, you just need to be effective. And so I talk with Sean a lot. I even went to Talladega last year and spent time around his team.
Very cool.
And I got to be in the pits, and I got to be around their team and around the garage. I got to be in the haulers, and just how efficient these guys are and how kind they are to each other. But every guy is a star. Every person there was a star performer. In fact, one of the gentlemen that I met, his name is escaping me right now, but he was a college and professional football player. And he was a star at Alabama University. And a guy named Dabo Sweeney, who's a super famous football coach, once said, we were coaching at Clemson, he said, you know, this guy, this is what programs are built around. And this guy ended up having this wonderful, wonderful college career and reputation. And months later, he was driving to Nashville, Tennessee Titans NFL rookie camp. And there was a car fire on the side of the road. He pulled over and went out and saved this family from a burning car on the interstate. And they would have perished very likely. And so it made the news after he had already been labeled as this. And so it just goes to show to me that, you know, it's a character inside of you, and you can be accountable to that. A lot of people drove by that car. And here's a guy going to NFL camp.
Yeah, stopped and did that. Yeah.
Pulls over and sticks his nose in there to make sure everyone's okay. Realizes they're not, and made a difference. And so those kinds of stories aren't uncommon. But you have to have an ear for them, and you have to be open to them. And it's not just all about what's right here sometimes. You just got to open it up. So I'm trying to do that a little bit, and I hope it makes a difference.
Well, I love some of the things you said there, especially you said being self-accountable. So as you know, we're talking, this episode's about developing your own leadership, being self-accountable, and that also applies to when you're developing other leaders, right? So if they can see you're accountable, that helps them, you know, that's leading through example, helps them be accountable. And, you know, accountability and kindness. I mean, off camera we spoke about, and you kind of leaned into me and you said, can you do that for me? Can you lean in? And you remember what you said? Yeah, do it.
What?
You leaned in and said, there's two ways to deliver the message. It was accountable.
Yeah,
I need you to do better. That's what you said.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so there's two ways to get the best out of someone.
Yeah.
And sometimes it says, hey, you need to do a better job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Pressure's on.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I need you to do a better job this time.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
it's how you deliver it, right?
It's a gentler touch.
Yeah.
It's more in line with supporting them, and let me know how I can help you if you need some help with it. Or sometimes I'll say to someone, hey, you know what? I need you to call this person and tell them that we're not going to accept these terms or whatever. If you're not comfortable with it, I'll do it. But if you feel up for the challenge, give her.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a comfort learning process.
Yeah.
And so as I'm developing leaders, and I've been doing over the years and trying to take a more active role in that, that's quite often a question I'll pose to them. Hey, we got a bill collection. Are you comfortable calling them and saying, hey, you owe us money?
Yeah.
And if not, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it. And
Give
you
them
can sit here
opportunity.
while I do it. You can watch how I do it.
Yeah.
But eventually you're going to have to do this if you want to be a leader in the organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have those very, very clear conversations with people, and you know, most of the times it's a moment, it's a gut check time for them to be like, yeah, I'm ready to take that step.
Yeah, you presented them with the opportunity, right?
Yeah, and sometimes they say, no, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I do it on the ice. I coach a lot of hockey. I do a lot of power skating coaching and skill coaching and stuff. And I always try to get a different kid to demonstrate the different skill.
Yeah.
And I'll come over to you and, Robin, you ready to demo? No problem. Right? And I'll go and I'll ask someone else.
Yeah.
But one of these days I'm going to ask you and I say, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Backwards crossovers.
And that gets them thinking about it, right? So.
And then when they do it, you know, their confidence is high.
Yeah.
You recognize it, you have patience with them, and then you recognize them, and now they've got real confidence.
Yeah.
And that's kids, it's adults,
Absolutely.
It doesn't
Confidence
matter.
means everything. Yeah. Yeah. And sorry to put you on the spot with that question. We were talking off camera, and I really loved how you said it because I think you know, the accountability and kindness. It's hard to keep them together and do it the right way. So
yeah, I've been hitting the head a few times.
Yeah.
So slow on the uptick
welcome to the
sometimes.
club. Yeah, I'm with you there. So last question for today's episode: where do you see yourself growing in this coming year?
Well, last month I started a new company. I founded Bear Valley Solutions, and it's a company of two. And so I'm not leading much right now, but I have service companies that I'm dealing with. I have lawyers, I have bankers, I have marketers, I have a partner, I have suppliers, I have things that I've got to establish to set my company up and to be successful. I actually have a couple of clients already that I have to serve them. So, you know, I think for me right now in this next year is really fortifying myself as a business owner and an active, successful business person in the community, and doing it, you know, with a bit of a roadmap and really leading my company. And so you know who my partner is. Tadar Hashi is my partner, and he's wonderful. And I'm so blessed that we're together. I also have a number of years more experience than him, so there's some responsibilities that I have to bring to the table.
He will be looking to learn from you.
And I have to learn from him.
Right.
You know, and there's things he brings to the table that I don't have. And so I'm trying to actively, you know, develop his leadership skills where he can really lead this organization. And I never worry about what Tadar's going to say when I'm not around. If he's in a meeting with someone, I always know that whatever he's saying is the right thing. We're always on the same page. And so for the next year, as we grow, as Bear Valley grows, I find we're going to have to continue to bring the right people in that have the same kind of values, the same kind of honesty, the same kind of kindness, the same sort of high performance culture. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, I think it sounds like you have a lot of opportunity in front of you, business-wise as well as growth. You've taken on a lot of stuff, so that's exciting. This is the last of our series of you and I together. So tell everybody where they can find you. Now, You've talked a lot about Bear Valley. You're involved in a lot of things, which is part of why we connect and having you on here. So you know, definitely dip in and tell us about some of the other things you're doing as well while you send us home here.
Yeah, thanks. No, I've really enjoyed this today, Robin. You've got a real knack for it. So thanks for having me on.
100%.
Bear Valley Solutions is at its heart, it's an Indigenous supply chain consulting company, and we're also ground protection experts, which is another word for matting, and another number of words for matting. And you know, we're taking the matting game, and we're looking at not only the access to the sites, but protecting the ground, and working with nations and communities to protect the ground on which we operate. It's not just oil and gas. There's municipal projects and stuff like that. So we're working with Indigenous groups, we're working with suppliers to help them protect the ground. That's my career. My hobby, which I love, and I had a mentor a few years ago put it in perspective for me. He asked me, you know, does it pay the bills? I said, no. He goes, well, then it's a hobby. It's not a career.
Right.
And that's Edge Boss hockey. And that Edge Boss hockey, for years and years, I was a player, coach, scout, agent, hockey school, started a hockey school with Jeff Shantz, on the ice a lot. As I had my own kids, my schedule tightened up. I couldn't skate, but I got into the product business of a company called Edge Boss Hockey. I got 3 partners. We manufacture and retail on-ice hockey training aids. And I think current count, we're at over half the NHL teams carry our gear.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. NHL, Olympic programs, junior college, academies, it's all around. And it's 7 years old. I love it. And it keeps me plugged into the hockey business without having to be on the ice 50 hours a week.
Great. Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. That's Edge Boss Hockey, and check us out.
Awesome. Thanks again for being on today's episode. Give me your details. Tell them where they get a hold of you.
Yeah. EdgeBossHockey.com is the hockey training company, and BearValleySolutions.com is my Indigenous supply chain and ground protection company.
That's it for our series on Game Changers with Steve Parsons. Thanks very much for joining us. We will see you next time. As we wrap another empowering episode of Game Changers, join me, Robin Finley, next time as we continue to unlock the secrets of success through sports and business. Remember, whether you win or learn, every moment is an opportunity. As we wrap another empowering episode of Game Changers, join me, Robin Finley, next time as we continue to unlock the secrets of success through sports and business. Remember, whether you win or learn, every moment is an opportunity.